It's just such a needless crime. It's just makes us sad.
A symbol of women's suffrage stolen. We're following a theft at the Molly Brown House Museum.
Some huge new construction plans for the Broncos. A look at the design for the $175 million investment in training facilities.
As now Colorado takes down the defending champs for their season opener.
And a great night to be a Buff. We're celebrating big wins for CU to start basketball season. 9 News at 4 starts now.
Four o'clock on this Tuesday, that means there are 3 hours left to get out and vote because today is Election Day in Colorado. As always, the polls will be open until 7 o'clock across the state. And as we get to 4 o'clock, new updated numbers from the Secretary of State's office. More than 1 million people have already turned in their ballots so far.
But more than 5,000 of those voters did it in person. Some of them, does not include you. You still have time if you say, I need to go in person and the weather's great. No excuses.
Good voting weather.
In Colorado, you can register and vote in person up until 7 tonight. However, the longer that people wait, that means the longer the results take to come in. We'd like it earlier. All of us do. Even though there are ballot machines, humans do supervise. So the process takes a bit. Later this hour, we'll be talking about more of the measures that are on the ballot and what our experts think. What are we watching tonight?
As always, election coverage throughout the night, covering the results as they come in. On TV, you can watch us on Channel 20 starting at 9 o'clock and over on 9 News at Channel 9 at 10 o'clock for context and analysis. And of course, much more coverage throughout the night at 9news.com and on the 9 News app. Also new at 4 o'clock, a symbol honoring Denver's connection to the movement that gave women the right to vote is now missing.
The curator at a local museum is asking for your help in tracking down a stolen sign. 9 News' Brianna Clark joins us live from the Molly Brown House, a place so many of us know, Brianna. It's a really wonderful place.
It is a wonderful place, and this is where that wonderful sign was supposed to be. You can see now it's just a pole coming out of the ground. It's really heartbreaking for the folks here. They tell me they believe that it possibly was stolen sometime Saturday night into early Sunday morning when it was still dark out. They've had issues with thefts here before, but they never thought that someone would come out here and steal such an important sign and rip it from its post.
So it was right here. That had to have been a clean saw break, though.
That's one theory.
Unscrewed it and pulled it off the top.
That's another.
It's a bummer that someone decided to steal it.
Stephanie McGuire is curator at the Molly Brown House Museum. She was here when they first put up this sign.
We were really excited about it.
That's her in the photo. This is what it's supposed to look like, and this is what it looks like now.
It's just so needless, and that's what's frustrating about it.
Stephanie learned Sunday morning that the sign had been ripped from its post.
It does sort of now feel like the part of the house is missing because we no longer have this symbol.
A symbol honoring the movement that gave women the right to vote. More specifically, Margaret Brown's role.
Everybody knows that she survived the Titanic, but I don't think it's as clear to most people that she was involved in this suffrage movement.
That's something students get to learn more about when they go inside the house.
Thank you guys for coming. Hope you had fun.
Before women could even vote, Margaret Brown ran for United States Senate in 1914. She ended up withdrawing from the race, but her actions had a huge impact.
Women today can vote because of women like Margaret and because of women, all of the women that she was working with.
Stephanie says the sign was part of that bigger picture. It was a marker on the National Votes for Women trail, putting the Molly Brown House on the map. Now it's gone.
Please consider returning this because I promise you it serves no value to you. It serves a lot of value here in front of the museum. And we would really appreciate that piece of the house back.
So the museum does have security cameras, but none of them are pointing in this direction. We went across the street to this business, to the building. There's several security cameras out there. I went in and talked to the security guard. We went through the footage, and they didn't see anything on their end. Again, this isn't the first time that they've had something stolen from the museum. See this guy? This big old lion. He was stolen back in 1982, but as you can see, That person brought him back, although he was in several pieces. They're hoping whoever stole this sign will bring it back in one piece, no questions asked.
Have a conscience. Come on, for history's sake.
It's important to think about on Election Day, because you think of, how important the vote of women is, but I think it also carries a lot of weight to understand there was a time when women didn't or couldn't vote. Think about that for a second, because that might shake you up a little bit.
Yeah. Do a little gut check. Brianna, thank you. Hopefully someone will decide to do the right thing.
Let's take a live look outside now. Another warm day up in the 70s here in early November. A lot of blue skies, sunshine, pretty nice as we again had a very warm day today.
Well, it's been nice Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, so probably not into Wednesday, Kathy.
That's exactly right, Kim. And if you're not paying attention, it will come as a little bit of a shock to you tomorrow. Yeah, we're tracking a storm. It's not a huge storm, but it will be a really big change. We've got some sunshine and the wind out there and warm temperatures close to 80 for some areas. We're going to cut that number in half tomorrow, and the mountains are bracing for some heavy snow. Winter weather and travel advisories have already gone up. Still sitting this hour with temperatures in the 60s and 70s, but the leading edge of that colder air starting to move in. And we're seeing some gusts over some of the higher passes to over 60 miles per hour, all in advance of that Pacific cold front that has also created elevated fire danger in southern Colorado because of the wind, the warmth, and humidity values to 9%. Pueblo down to Trinidad and that Colorado-New Mexico line. Here's the system here. It's going to take a few hours for it to move in, and as it does, the mountain snow will start to ramp up. Winter weather advisory for anywhere from 4 to 8, maybe 10 inches of snow across Summit County from Winter Park down to the Bailey area. That starts tonight and goes through tomorrow. Denver's dry tonight, cooler, windy with increasing clouds. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy. Scatter rain and snow showers by lunchtime. Scatter rain and snow showers during the afternoon. Looks like maybe a ½ inch of snow during the day and maybe another ½ inch overnight tomorrow night. Then this system is out of here. We wake up to sunshine on Thursday. So not terribly impactful for the Front Range, but in the foothills, that's where you're going to see the accumulating snow tomorrow. Get out and enjoy the evening. Temperatures are very mild, and coming up in Maine weather, we'll detail the timing of the storm and how much snow you can expect in your neighborhood.
It was a good run. Okay, we need some change. Today, the town of Superior took another big step in recovering what was lost in the Marshall Fire. The new Superior Historical Museum. The Superior Historical Commission and town staff are working with a design firm to build a new museum, a replica of the original mine camp house. They broke ground this afternoon. Not all was lost in the fire. The commission recovered some things in the aftermath. And a few months later, Mother Nature gave the museum one more gift.
In the spring, I came over here with a friend of mine that wanted to see the site and everything, and we were just wandering around, and she looked down and she said, "What are those keys down there?" And I said, "Oh my gosh, those are the keys to the museum." What happened was that they were down in the debris, and when the grass grew up in the spring, it lifted them up and they were sitting right on top of the grass.
How about that? The Historical Commission is currently taking donations to help rebuild the museum's collection.
Today marked day 2 in the trial over a revenge child abuse claim made in Aurora.
Robin Niceta is accused of making the false report against a member of Aurora City Council, and the jury is now deliberating. Investigative reporter Jeremy Hohola joins us live from the courthouse. And Jeremy, another interesting day in court in a complicated case.
Yeah, it's a very complicated case, Kim. Lots of tangled webs here, but now the jury has the case. At the center of it, Robin Niceta, who is accused of plotting revenge with a false child abuse claim. The prosecution over the past 2 days has outlined their case with computer forensics. They say Niceta retaliated after a member of City Council in Aurora called Robin Niceta's girlfriend trash on a local radio show. Her girlfriend at the time, former Chief of Police Vanessa Wilson. An hour ago, the jury in this case began deliberating. They will decide if Robin Niceta should be guilty of a felony over that false child abuse claim. Prosecutors showed the jury her phone records and searches on Google. They say Niceta made the false claim by calling a child abuse hotline back in January of 2022. In that phone call, Niceta is accused of claiming City Councilor Danielle Jurinsky abused her son. Jurinsky has also testified in this trial. Here's what she said yesterday.
Having this looming investigation over me, not knowing if they're coming to take my son, not knowing what's going on in this investigation, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat. At one point, I had to take my son to my parents because I couldn't even look at him without crying.
This afternoon, the prosecution and defense asserted their positions with closing arguments. Prosecutors say the digital evidence proves Niceta searched Google for information on Jurinski, including her address, before making the false child abuse claim. They also showed the jury it was her personal cell phone number that was used to make that phone call. Niceta's defense attorney made the claim it was Niceta's girlfriend at the time who made that call, former Chief Vanessa Wilson.
Robin Niceta made this false report from her cell phone on her own accord.
Who's really going to be upset by that is Vanessa Wilson. She's the police chief. She's the one who's being called a piece of trash. And it makes it much more likely that she would make such a phone call.
And just within the last 10 seconds, prosecutors in this case walked by me here. They notified me there is a verdict in this case. So a very quick deliberation in court, about an hour and 10 minutes. We're going to jump into court and we're going to see what the jury has decided. Again, Robin Niceta facing a felony charge here. Let's see what the jury decides with her fate. Back to you.
All right, Jeremy, we'll get the latest as soon as it comes in. We'll continue to follow the case. You can also stay updated by downloading the 9 News app, which is free to download pretty much anywhere you download apps.